racing, looking for the green flag.
Folks, it is time to rock, roll, and rumble.
This is the world's fastest half-mile Bristol Motor Speedway, and we are ready to go.
Welcome to the Sioux Chief Showdown Championship. And yes, cars getting ready to roll already. We are not wasting any time. We're excited to get things going, and we welcome you in. I'm Jamie Little, joined by Trevor Bain and Phil Parsons. Trevor, this is your home track. You know all about it. Most of the drivers in this field, they don't know anything about this place. What is that difficulty factor?
Oh, the difficulty factor of this short track is unlike any other. I mean, this place is so unique, even from the way you look out your windshield. Most drivers are used to looking out the left. Well, here you've got so much banking, you're looking through the roof of this thing. So you have to remind yourself to look ahead, and you got to remind yourself to catch your breath. My first 5 laps of practice, every time I show up here, I pull up into the pit stall and I just wait a second, try to catch my breath, get my heart rate back down, and remind myself I got to drive this thing. So these drivers have their work cut out for sure tonight.
They certainly do, and we're actually giving away a couple of championships. As we said, it's the Showdown Championship. All eyes on Sammy Smith in that 18.
Yeah, the Sioux Chief Showdown Championship is really a championship within a championship. We have 20 races in the ARCA Menards series. 10 of those are on tracks 1 mile or less, including road courses and dirt tracks. Sammy Smith has dominated that. He's just about to clinch this. Soon after we take the green flag, he will clinch this, as well as the ARCA Menards East Championship, where he's won 4 of the 6 races so far this year. He's had an incredible season, and I think it's going to continue tonight.
Yes, he definitely has momentum on his side. Well, earlier this afternoon, qualifying took place to determine the General Tire Pole Award. And at the end of the session, for the 7th time this year, Sammy Smith,
big surprise,
is on the pole, right? This is actually the same car that dominated this race last year with Ty Gibbs driving. And you see to the outside in the 81, Brandon Jones, his teammate. He'll be another tough one tonight. So as you see the cars roll off, we'll check in and see the Sioux Chief Showdown Championship starting grid. And as we do that, let's check in with our pit reporters for tonight. Here's Josh Sims and Kate Osborne. Hey, Kate.
Hey, JB, we were talking about Nick Sanchez. He's starting 8th here tonight. I asked him, what's the focus? Is it a championship or is it the win? He said, if I have a first place car, that's where I'm gonna run. If I have a 3rd or 4th place car, I'll run there. But I can tell you, this is the best short track package that we've had all season long. One thing to note, Daniel Dye, who is sitting 2nd in points, actually has been come down with flu-like symptoms over the course of the last 24 hours and has a lot that he has to work through here tonight at Bristol. Josh?
Well, you know, Kate, anytime you win 75% of your starts in a series, you have to be considered one of the favorites, right? Well, Brandon Jones and his crew chief told me just because they won 3 of their 4 starts this season doesn't mean it's been a cakewalk. They've had to fight for each and every one of those wins. And he also told me that this will be his first start in an ARCA car here at Bristol. But he said this is a jumping off point tonight, because he said every time he's done that double duty, when he's run well in the ARCA series, has led to him running well in the Xfinity series. So in a perfect world, he gets a win here tonight that leads to another win in Xfinity later on, guys.
Well, thanks, Josh. Yes, Brandon Jones certainly knows how to get the job done. Well, we'll have 4 onboards tonight, bringing you all of the action. First up is the number 1, Jake Finch. He's carrying the General Tire onboard, making his 3rd start in the series.
We're also going to ride along with Daniel Dye. As Kate said, he's a little bit under the weather, but this is the race to stop Suicide Chevrolet for GMS, and Daniel will start from the 6th spot.
We've already talked about how much Sammy Smith has on the line tonight and how fast he's been, and we're going to get to watch it all right here on his Sioux Chief Showdown, Sioux Chief in-car camera.
We're also going to go up to the front row beside Sammy Smith, and this is Brandon Jones. We just talked about him. This is the Homeworks onboard camera starting from the outside of the front row.
We'll be riding on board with them throughout the evening. Let's take a look now at our race analysis. Phil, we have 200 laps for 106.6 miles around this banked concrete oval.
Yeah, we're going to have race breaks on or around laps 75 and 125. And they can change 4 tires and put fuel in as long as you don't do it at the same time. And the 2 previous winners of this race are Sam Mayer and Ty Gibbs.
And 1 to go until they drop the green flag. 31 cars in the field tonight. It's a great field for the ARCA Menards series. You have some from the West series, some from the East, and of course we have our regulars from the National ARCA Menards series. Brandon Jones right there hopes to upset the field once again. He's already done it 3 times this year. Winning percentage, I believe, is at 1.5 for that 81.
I would take that win percentage, wouldn't you, Phil?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds like Kyle Busch-esque in the Truck Series, all the winning that he has done. The last great Coliseum, you see it there, side by side. Sammy Smith takes the green flag, and we're racing at Bristol.
Brandon Jones did a great job holding on the outside of Sammy Smith there. Typically early in the race, the bottom's where you want to be, but Brandon Jones...
Contact already. Sammy Smith got into the left rear quarter panel of Brandon Jones. Remember now, the trucks just came off the racetrack with a Goodyear rubber for practice and qualifying. These ARCA Menards cars are on General tires.
Makes a big difference when you have a different rubber down, you practice, you get your car dialed in, a new rubber gets on the racetrack, and the balance changes quick. This traction compound that's on the bottom of the track does create a lot of grip, but you're right, Phil, you get new rubber on it, things change.
And they were on the track just a couple of hours ago, but things have changed. The sun now gone down, and you see in the corners how dark it is on the bottom. Traction compound was laid down earlier this afternoon.
See Connor Mosak, the 23, taking a look on the inside for a moment of Jesse Love.
Let's look back at what happened between the teammates here. Sammy Smith just gets into the left rear quarter panel of the 81.
Looks like he got loose to me in the head and chased the car up the hill. That's why he made that contact.
Yeah, and Brandon Jones definitely was cheating down. There's a lot of marbles at the top of this racetrack, and what I mean by that is as the tires wear, that debris kind of builds up on the top of the racetrack. You got to be really careful on corner exits. So that's why you see Brandon Jones kind of hold it down a little bit, and then Sammy Smith's front end gets a little light, gets a little loose off, and then makes some contact there. So not intentional, just racing.
Especially for teammates, right?
I know. Whoa, whoa, guys. Too soon for that. Let's make this last to the end so we get that nose-to-nose burnout like we had last year between Ty Gibbs and Sammy Smith when they both had something to celebrate.
The other thing that might be too soon, Jamie, is Brandon Jones leading. He's won 3 races, but he's only led 65 laps so far.
That's
this is kind of a new scenario for him leading laps.
Right along with Jake Finch. This is General Tire on board. Jake's son of my good buddy James Finch down in Panama City, Florida. Jake doing a nice job. Had a runner-up finish this year earlier in the ARCA Menards series.
He keeps doing that, and your buddy James might have a cup team again one day.
Absolutely. I'd love to see it.
I was thinking the same thing. When you look at what his father's cup team did, he has 1 win, and it was with Brad Keselowski at Talladega. What an exciting day that was. And now here he is watching his son race in the ARCA Menards series.
It's even wild for me to see that paint scheme on the racetrack as we see some more battles going on already, some lap traffic, having to navigate that, moving up into that untreated racetrack, which can be pretty slick.
You saw the 20 there. That's Jesse Love behind the wheel. This is the team that went to victory lane just last week at Kansas Speedway with Corey Heim. But they're obviously, they want to win the race tonight, but also they're trying to go for the Sioux Chief Championship as well. They came in 26 points behind Sammy Smith. We got a battle for the lead right here as Sammy Smith goes to the inside, and he gets it from Brandon Jones.
Brandon just slipped up out of the traction compound for just a moment. It only took 1 corner. Oh, trouble already.
Trouble. Amber Balkin.
Tony Breidinger in the 25 car as well.
Those two seem to qualify together every single week. They run together on the track, they run together, they stay together in the points, and now they have the first incident of the day, bringing out the caution for the first time on lap 13. This is in progress, what happened between the two. You see the 30, looks like she just lost it up into the wall, and Tony Breidinger didn't have anywhere to go.
Yeah, nowhere to go for Tony Breidinger. Now, Amber may have had some help from someone. Looks like she had some help right there. Looks like somebody got in her left rear quarter panel and turned her around. That's what caused this.
So trouble early to our 2 regular female drivers. We'll continue here at Bristol. ARCA Racing on FS1 is brought to you by Bounty, the quicker picker-upper. By Menards, save big money at Menards. And by Sioux Chief, America's manufacturer of plumbing, drainage, supply, and support products. And welcome back to the Sioux Chief Showdown Championship. So far, Brandon Jones has led 11 laps, and Sammy Smith is your current leader. He has led 6 laps as we're under caution for the first time.
Yeah, Jamie, I'd love to go back and take a look at how Sammy Smith got the lead from his kind of teammate, Brandon Jones here. This is one of the hardest things to do as a driver, but this is why Brandon Jones has a 75% win rate. He knows that the 18 is a little bit faster than him. He pulls up the racetrack, lets him have the bottom, and realizes, I'm going to take care of my tires, and I'm going to go get him later. But I'm telling you what, when you hear that spotter say second place is coming, that's hard, but that's maturity right there. That's experience. Those are the things that maybe Sammy Smith's going to learn as he moves to the Xfinity Series. But right now, Sammy Smith doesn't care because he's really fast.
And Brandon Jones is 25 years old, and he's been there. He's done that. He's won Xfinity races. He's won a number of ARCA races. He has that experience.
Well, the caution came out when Amber Balkin spun and Tody Breidinger had an issue. Let's get to Kate now, who's caught up with Amber.
Yeah, Amber right now is trying to figure out what exactly happened. She is out of the race. From your point of view, what do you know?
I mean, I thought we had a pretty good run going. I think we were like just outside the top 10, making good laps, and just got punted out of the way. I don't know exactly who it is. I don't want to say, I haven't seen the replay yet, but I'm pretty sure it's the 91. It was not the 25. Me and the 25 race each other clean every single race, so I would be very surprised if it was her. But just sucks. Like, we had, once again, a strong run going, and someone just takes us out. It's just not fair to my guys. It's not fair to Icon Direct, my sponsor. I want to come here and like show what I can do, and it's hard to show what I can do when I'm getting taken out.
Absolutely. JB?
Thank you. Yeah, really unfortunate. She finally turned things around and finished 8th last week at Kansas. And green flag is back out. Sammy Smith leads the way on the outside.
Interesting lane choice there, Phil.
Yeah, might have been a little teamwork there as well for Brandon Jones to start on the inside and then leave enough room for Sammy to pull back down below him.
Jesse Love in the 20 on the outside making some ground up, but Taylor Gray in the 17 on the inside.
Right along with Daniel Dye running in the 7th spot right now. You can see Connor Mosack, the 23, right in front of him. Good side-by-side battle here. Jake Finch moves to the inside of Nick Sanchez, grabs that 10th spot.
Seeing a lot of patience right now, Jamie, which is really good for these drivers to recognize at lap 25. I can promise things will pick up when we get to that last 25 laps right now. But right now, Nick Sanchez leading the points. He's making good decisions. And here we've got another battle. Rajah Caruth, Jesse Love. Jesse had the top working early on that restart. Might have got the tires a little hot. Still trying to battle and hold his spot and find a gap to get in, and he does right in front of Connor Mosack.
Yeah, good move by Rajah Caruth to grab that 4th spot. Rajah, one of the drivers doing double duty. Doing a nice job in that truck, in the 7 truck for Spire Motorsports.
We talked about patience, and we showed Nick Sanchez in the 2, Rajah Caruth in the 6. They're 2 of the drivers who raced here last year, so they have a little bit of experience. So maybe you learn patience, you see how this race goes and how it ends when you need to pick it up a little bit. And obviously Nick Sanchez, he has a lot on the line here.
Yeah, both of those drivers well up into the top 10 last year. And Nick obviously has to kind of race with one eye open about the point championship. 12 points coming in over Daniel Dye. A good considerable point lead now over Rajah, as we talked about at the top of the show after his issues. But Nick's really done a great job this year.
And Rajah Caruth running 4th right now. He's had a lot of seat time so far today, Kate.
He absolutely has, and it is paying off. And talking to the team, in fact, they said he was free in qualifying, but they ended up the practice early because the car felt that good. There is a lot of confidence with Rajah. He feels good about coming here, and he told me, I'm doing that double duty, and I want to sweep it here today.
All right, I like that confidence, and it sounds like they brought a great setup for both of these cars.
I like that confidence too. So you see Brandon Jones still trying to work that top a little bit more than anybody, and he knows that that can work. In his Xfinity races, it typically moves up. You know, right now these drivers are trying to figure out their car. They think it was good in practice. Sammy Smith obviously still good right now. You see the track starting to take rubber, and their cars are going to change quite a bit at this point in the race. So they're trying to communicate with their crew chief, which is one of the hardest parts about Bristol. You've got to get on that radio, be super concise, get a lot of information in a short amount of time, and get ready for that first pit stop where you can make your car better or get it readjusted for the new conditions of this racetrack.
Sammy Smith continues to lead the way. Brandon Jones, Taylor Gray, and Raja Caruth, your top 4. More from Bristol after this. And we welcome you back to Bristol Motor Speedway, working lap 45. Sammy Smith continues to lead his teammate Brandon Jones. Remember, we have a break coming up at or around lap 75 when they can take tires and take fuel as well. But guys, right before we went to break, there's a whole gaggle of cars battling for that 6th spot. Let's take a look back at a little bit of bumper car action.
Yeah, a lot of lap traffic here. You see Jesse Love obviously a little bit tentative. Connor Mosak runs in the back of him. Daniel Dye also. Connor Mosak does a great save there. Actually a second save as Daniel Dye in the 43 gets by. Right along with Daniel Dye. Watch this big slide that Connor Mosak's going to have because of that contact right there with the 12 car.
That's some car control.
It is.
His road course racing turning right. He was doing a lot of turning right there.
I was just thinking Reese's sweet move of the race perhaps, and boom, there's our graphic. This is so much fun because we get to watch all these cool moments throughout the race and decide which one is the best. And you can go online and start tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Vote for tonight's Reese's sweet move of the race. That's the ARCA Menards Series Twitter page at ARCA_racing. Let's get an update from Kate.
Number 20 of Jesse Love is still tight. He came out of practice and qualifying saying that. Lloyd Garner, the spotter, is saying, you're going to work this hard all night, man. There's lap traffic, and you have to stay focused. That's what these drivers are up against right now, is that focus, Josh.
Yeah, and speaking of focus, Sammy Smith had to refocus after losing the lead off the top of the race. He said he just fired off too free, but he got his focus back, was able to get back around Brandon Jones, and now the biggest battle for him is just getting around this lap traffic, guys.
A lot of lap traffic as we've been seeing right now. It's clear sailing, but Sammy Smith continues to lead here. As you see, Brandon Jones closing that gap.
Closing fast, and what they're talking about, Bristol is a rhythm track. It's almost like clockwork. You just lift, get back to the gas, lift, get back to the gas, and as soon as you catch lap traffic, that rhythm gets all messed up. You don't know which foot's supposed to be dancing, which one's supposed to be going, and so it makes you get off, and next thing you know, your balance changes. He talked about starting too free. I don't know about you, Phil, but if I start too free at Bristol, I'm worried because it frees up every time I've ever raced there. I get looser and looser. Looks like that's what the 18's struggling with now as Brandon Jones closes that gap and puts pressure on him.
And you talk about that rhythm. You don't have to do it 200 times because there's 200 laps. You have to do it 400 times because you do the same thing on each straightaway and corner twice a lap.
That's right. At night, you can almost drive in your sleep. You keep hearing the engine noises over and over again, and it'll replay in these drivers' head for the next 3 days.
That's Ron Vandermeyer Jr. in the 44 that was to the inside of Brandon Jones as they go and put him a lap down.
Really setting a quick pace. Ron was in the 15th spot. So we've lapped all the way up to 15th. Still heavy traffic. And there's Mason Diaz, the 3 car right there. This is Connor Mosak with a lap car of Ron Arns, the 95.
Connor Mosak, he has had his hands full in that 23.
He loves Reese's, doesn't he? He's trying to get all the sweet moves.
He knows the deal over here. He knows how it works.
That's right. I tell you, this first run is going to be the most difficult probably for a lot of these drivers because whatever your balance is with a green racetrack, when there's no rubber down, it just amplifies it. It gets worse and worse and worse. And so once this rubber lays down, you can already see it moving up an extra lane. The bottom's really black from that traction compound they put down. But that second groove, as it takes rubber, it starts, oh, got an accident here.
One after another. It starts with the 06. That's A.J. Moyer, and the 55 gets into him. That's Connor Jones. Pretty significant damage there.
Yeah, Connor, one of the youngest, if not the youngest driver in the field, only 16 years old. Driving for the Venturinis. Had a 5th place finish earlier this year at Iowa.
Take a look back exactly what happened here.
See, the 06 was inside. Looked like maybe the 95 car that we were talking about, Arns. And the 55 of Connor Jones just came in. Probably maybe locked the rear brakes up. Trevor seeing that accident. Spotter said, hey, trouble in front of you. Maybe hit the brakes a little bit too hard.
Yeah, and there's damage to the front of the 95. So, ooh, wow, that was close for our leaders as well. Especially Brandon Jones there trying to choose which way to go as that car came down the racetrack.
A lot of heads-up action by Brandon Jones right there, riding on board with him. We're under caution for the second time here at Bristol. ARCA Racing on FS1 is brought to you by Richmond Water Heaters, the water heater experts, available at Menards. And by General Tire, #GT delivers. Beautiful evening in Bristol, Tennessee, and we welcome you back to the Sioux Chief Showdown Championship. And well, there's been a lot of action so far. We're working lap 64 and right now under caution for the second time this evening. Let's take one more look back at what happened when it was AJ Moyer and 16-year-old Connor Jones got together. We're riding on board with Sammy Smith here and what he sees. Close call up front.
He saw his car sideways right in the middle of the racetrack is what he saw. Right now, he sees that car sideways, and that car's coming down the racetrack. He gets to it quicker. Brandon Jones all but runs in the back of Sammy. Watch how quickly Brandon will catch Sammy. I don't know how he got stopped.
I don't either, and there's not a lot of real estate to work with here at Bristol, and when somebody checks up, I mean, that's something you have to be careful of. When they say caution, you still got to roll as much speed as you possibly can and get through the crash so you don't get run over from behind. I've had that happen 3-4 times where you get stopped, guy behind you does not, and it looked like that was the case with the 55 car as well, as he got turned around by the 95 behind him. So Brandon Jones dodged a bullet there. I don't know if it's Reese's sweet move as much as Connor Mozak, but he did get stopped there finally.
Because it looked like Brandon Jones was in the corner as hard as he could get in the corner, and then all of a sudden you've got to slam on the brakes to avoid hitting your teammate.
Well, there's a lot on the line. Can you imagine if he wrecked his teammate Sammy Smith and he's out? He's trying to wrap up a championship tonight, the ARCA Menards East title and the Sioux Chief Championship. So a lot on the line. Good heads up driving by them, and they start side by side once again. Sammy Smith chooses the outside. Green flag in the air.
I think that's another case of great teamwork. Brandon Jones allowing Sammy Smith to get down in front of him. We're not sure that'll stay that's the same the rest of the race, Trevor, but it is for now anyway.
No, especially if that fourth place driver, Rajah Caruth, is able to hold on the outside, which it looks like Brandon Jones is a little too strong. See what Taylor Gray can do with Rajah Caruth here. How
about Rajah moving up and making it work for him? You know, that's typically not a lane choice that they can run in here because it just doesn't come in time. This is such a short race. Now Rajah, good car, a lot of confidence. He's on the move right now in fourth.
Good battle back here. Top 5. Daniel Dye has that 5th spot. Jesse Love, the 20 and 6th. Parker Chase, first time we've talked about Parker in the 15. Couple runner-ups finishes this year for Parker in that 15 car.
Daniel Dye running in the 5th spot. What are they saying, Kate?
They're telling him that he's doing really well across the whole track, but he's struggling in the middle point. They said he needs to work smarter, not harder, especially as it comes to lap traffic. Daniel Dye said he has absolutely nothing to at this point in time. Jamie.
Thank you, Kate. And caution out for the 3rd time for the 48 of Brad Smith. He's gotten into the inside wall.
We've completed 70 laps. I have to believe that the ARCA officials will probably say, call this that first break that was going to be on or around lap 75. I would think this would probably qualify as that.
And we have breaks in this development series so they can bring them down pit road. They take their time. There's no competitive advantage. They'll have 5 minutes to complete the work. They can add fuel and tires, not at the same time, but they can get it all done in one pit stop. So we'll see if this is going to be that break. And we're being told right now this will be the first break. So they can opt to pit or they can stay out. What do you guys say?
I think we pit now. I may want to stay out later, but I want to pit now and get 4 tires.
Yeah, definitely. They can make it from fuel from here. I would take tires here, get ready, make it that last 125.
And you saw what happened to Brad Smith. He is on pit road. We'll have some pit stops coming up after the break. Stay with us.
Bristol's definitely a bucket list venue for me. I'm really excited to be racing there, but if I had to choose a different venue, I would say the Chase Center in San Francisco where the Warriors play.
I'd say my bucket list sports venue to go to would probably be the new Raiders Stadium in Vegas. I hear it's cool, and you know, since it's just built, it's all modern, and I love modern. Probably the Tour de France. I enjoy riding. It's off-road bikes. I think they do something where you can ride before or after the same course as them, so I definitely want to do something like that.
Other than racing, my favorite sport would have to be football. I'm from Winnipeg, so the closest stadium to Winnipeg for NFL is the Lambeau Field, and I've never been there before, so I think it'd be really cool to go there.
Probably Jaws and Maui, a big wave surfing competition.
I grew up a big basketball fan, and I played a little bit, so Madison Square Garden and the Staples Center.
Going to a Super Bowl or a college football national championship game would be pretty cool. I'm a big Miami Dolphins fan and University of Miami football fan.
You know, the World Cup's in Qatar this year, so I think that'd be really, really cool to see the finals game. Fans around the world will get really hyped up for it.
And we welcome you back. There are a lot of good options there. I really liked it. And, you know, I have to say Bristol Motor Speedway is definitely one of those awesome sporting venues. Right, Josh? Do you agree?
Oh, gotta love it. Plenty of action down here as you see the teams going to work, trying to improve the car. So let's start with the 81 of Brandon Jones. And he said he's getting loose on entry. And his big thing, he's been trying to track down Sammy Smith in that 18. And he told his team, he's like, I'm able to get back to the gas better than the 18, but he's able to hold the bottom a little bit better. So they're going to try and help him out on entry. As we move to the 18 of Sammy Smith, started out really good with the car, but he said as it got cooler out and you could feel the temperature drop, he said he got tighter and tighter, and it got much worse towards the end of that run. So they're going to try and help him out as they gave him 4 tires and fuel as well, guys.
Thank you, Josh. 127 laps to go here at Bristol Motor Speedway. You're watching the ARCA Menards series on FS1. Welcome back to the Bush Beans 200 Sioux Chief Showdown Championship. Some fans enjoying their time. Hey, it's a great night ahead. It's a doubleheader of racing. We got the Camping World Truck Series race coming up next. And well, I can't believe it already, but it's time for our Richmond Water Heaters mid-race recap. And it's been Sammy Smith has dominated so far, leading 63 laps.
2 lead changes, 14 cars still on the lead lap. We've had 3 cautions. Remember, last year we had 9 cautions in the 200 laps, but Sammy Smith now has led 64 laps as we continue to run under caution.
Hasn't been easy. There's been some close calls up front, but they've been heads up and put on a great show so far. Let's check in one quick time with Kate.
Well, the number 43 of Daniel Dye was a little snug coming across the middle. His crew chief, Chad Bryan, said, we'll give you what you need and make sure you drink some water or something because of obviously him dealing with some sickness. Well, imagine this. He needs to finish about 4.2 positions above Nick Sanchez in the following 3 races, and he knows that. He actually said he feels like he's a lot stronger at these short tracks than Nick is, and he says this is one of those tracks that's there is a lot to lose, as we have been talking about all night long. So Daniel Dye, though he's not feeling that great, is comfortable in that car, and we'll see what he can do tonight.
Well, as it's shown right now, Daniel Dye still second in the points, just 8 points out of the lead from the 2 of Nick Sanchez.
Earlier we heard his crew chief and spotter telling him, work smarter, not harder. What does that even mean at Bristol, right?
Yeah, right.
For me, what that means is getting to the gas early. We heard Brandon Jones saying, I could get to the gas earlier than the 18 car. It's so easy to overdrive the entry of this corner, and that seems like where to make speed. But the smart thing to do is to back that corner up, don't overcharge it, don't overwork it, and get back to the gas sooner. So Daniel Dye looks like he's doing a good job of that as he's worked his way through the field tonight.
Sammy Smith in the 18 on the outside. He is the control car. Brandon Jones on the inside in the 81. Green flag in the air once again, and Raja Caruth right behind the 18. He's been on a roll. These restarts have been really good for him in that 6 car.
Yeah, Brandon Jones knows he can't mess around too long trying to let Sammy Smith get in front of him, or Raja will be right there.
Firing off on low tire pressure here, you have to be really careful not to get on that splitter, get on the nose piece as you sail it off into the corner. So you'll see, oh, right there, Daniel Dye getting really loose, sliding up the racetrack into Jesse Love.
Lost a spot to Parker Chase in the 15 as well.
Just like that, a pit stop can change everything. Raja Caruth moving Taylor Gray up the racetrack. Big save by Taylor Gray.
Wow, battle for third right there as Raja Caruth takes it. He's in third now. A couple of double duty drivers this weekend. Got 7 different drivers running here, and obviously trucks or the Xfinity Series race tomorrow evening.
And Taylor Gray's one of those guys. His car looked really strong in that first part, but he got a little tight as he got up to Brandon Jones, and now looks really free to me, Phil.
Probably made some adjustments. You see right here, Roger moves to the inside. Maybe a slight bit of contact. That might have helped that 17 get a little bit sideways, and Raja takes advantage of it.
Parker Chase in that 15 looks like they've made that car a little bit better. It's just getting better as it gets later in the evening. You see him there in the top of your screen, that blue and white number 15. Parker finished second at Daytona and Mid-Ohio this season, still looking for that first win.
Not really known as a short track racer. I don't think he did a whole lot of short track racing. Mostly road racing is his background, but he's really having a nice run here.
Parker Chase made the move from Texas to Charlotte earlier this season to focus on getting better on ovals, racing and stock cars. A little bit different than the TA2 cars he's used to.
I'd say it's quite a bit different. You know, one good thing about Bristol, though, is it creates a lot of feel in the seat. When you have that vertical load in the car and you sell it up into the corner, it's a lot easier to feel where that grip is at, and you feel the right front kind of vibrate, and you feel the rear end stepping out. So for somebody, slow right in front of the leader here. We've got the 91 car really slow there, but navigates that well for Sammy Smith, able to keep the momentum up. But back to Parker Chase with that freeness, he can really sense that, and I think that's helping him here at Bristol.
Things happen so quickly here. Like you just said, Trevor, you're in the middle of talking, and boom, you've got a lapper that just comes up so quickly. That was the 91 of Justin Carroll that our leader just got around.
And we saw that earlier when we had that incident in turn 1 and 2. When the leaders came upon that, Sammy jumped on the brakes, and Brandon Jones almost ran over Sammy.
I don't know how Mark McFarland, the crew chief for Sammy Smith in the 18, how he does it. It doesn't matter what kid, I call them kids, 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds, they get in the car and they can win races. They're just that good.
Well, and Mark McFarland's good because he's been here. I've raced against Mark McFarland here when I was 15 years old. I raced at Bristol for my first time, was leading the race, got wrecked on 15 to go while leading by a wily veteran, Bobby Gill. But Mark McFarland was in that race, and he was in contention. Joey Logano was in that race as well, actually, and I raced a lot against him. And I feel like being a driver, Rodney Childers, Paul Wolfe, Mark McFarland, those guys, they know what the driver's talking about. When he gets feedback, he knows what that, harsh right rear feeling is, or that stiff right front. He knows how to make those changes, even by the tone of their voice.
Didn't Mark McFarland drive for Junior?
He did.
He did.
Back there,
yeah.
The Hooters Pro Cup back in the day.
Shane Huffman did as well, who's a crew chief for Connor Mosack.
Yeah.
The 3 of Mason Diaz, you see right there, he's got some issues. Smoke out of the back.
A lot of smoke now. That's good. Yeah, he's got to come down pit road, Josh.
Yeah, and the 3 of Mason Diaz has been having an issue losing power steering. They said during that last stop it was leaking, and as you see, more trouble for him as they're going to have to come in and fix it. But a power steering issue for the 3.
Power steering issue here there for Mason Diaz, who's driving for Willie Mullins Racing. Their first venture here racing at Bristol Motor Speedway, but Mason himself, he's been here a few times, but tough break with the issues.
I remember we were at Bristol one time for the Cup race, and Dale Sr. lost power steering. You never would have known it. I think he finished second in the race or whatever. He ran the last half of the race with no power steering.
I'm hoping that his steering box was a little bit slower than these today. These 10-to-1 ratios. I'm hoping he had like an 18-to-1.
No,
Otherwise,
that would
he
have
was
been
really
a 16-to-1.
16-to-1. Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Now with these 8 or 10-to-1 steering boxes, you'd have to be Hercules to drive one of these without power steering at Bristol.
The only manual, the fastest manual box we had back then was a 16-to-1.
Wow.
Top 2 in points now. Nose to tail, the 43 of Daniel Dye trying to hold off the 2 of Nick Sanchez, who's just behind him as they work lap traffic.
Yeah, I think Nick was able to make his car a little bit better during this break. He was languishing around the 10th spot prior to that first break.
And that's probably why you see the points the way they are. Nick Sanchez has great feedback, able to make that car better throughout the race with his crew chief. I will say, though, Daniel Dye came to life late in the last run, so I'm sure he's hoping these tires wear about the same and he can start moving forward as these laps tick away.
And these 2 running 7th and 8th right now. Jesse Love in the 20 just ahead of them. It all looks the same up front. That 18 of Sammy Smith has been so hard to beat so far. Halfway through this race, we've got 100 laps to go. Tonight on FS1, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series takes over right here in Bristol as the playoff round of 8 kicks off. Race day is next at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, followed by the race at 9. And that's all on FS1, so stay up late with us. This is a rare Thursday night. We're bringing you lots of racing action. Well, we are under caution for the 4th time, and this is why. It was a battle for the 16th spot. See the 15 of Parker Chase, the 42 of Christian Rose get together. Christian Rose now on pit road.
The apron does not have a lot of grip, Jamie. I don't think that was going to work out too well. You lose, I don't know, maybe 20 degrees of banking down there on the bottom.
Exactly, yeah. From 24 to hardly anything.
Right.
Let's get an update on this 17 on Taylor Gray. Here's Josh.
Yeah, and Taylor Gray is pretty puzzled right now. He said he was too tight at the start of the race. They made an adjustment to free him up. Now too free. So he said, I don't know, guys. I don't know what I need. I just know I can't catch the cars in front of me, and I'm struggling in lap traffic. So they're going to try and make another adjustment next time to help him out. Kate?
Josh, another driver who's a little puzzled right now is Rajah Caruth. He felt like he just got blocked, and he came on the radio and said, Chris Lambert, can you go ahead and let them know that I don't want to get blocked? I do not like blockers. Lambert came back on the radio and said, Nick, he apologized. He said he knows he does that. And Rajah continued to say, he's smart. We just need to take care of both of us. One of the conversations Rajah and I had earlier is the importance of spotters here, Trevor, and why that trust is essential on a track like Bristol. Why is it?
Well, you've got to trust them everywhere, but at Bristol, you want a really good spotter that can call things quick, be concise. That word concise is brought up so many times in the pre-race meetings for Bristol because it's got to be quick, really valuable information from that spotter.
Sounds like a television meeting. And green flag in the air once again. Great start by the 18 of Sammy Smith. 81 of Brandon Jones slides into second. Taylor Gray, they just heard him talking about the handling has gone away a little bit on that 17.
Yeah, Rajah restarted on the inside, Taylor Gray on the outside. Taylor's done a good job hanging with Rajah there, but Rajah's in the preferred line, but Taylor really drives it hard down in the corner, but he's going to pay for it in the middle.
Right now, these drivers don't have a lot of options. There's not a lot of tools. If this were an Xfinity or Cup race, if you're loose, you move up to the very top, it tightens the car up instantly. Right now, when it's on the bottom, you got what you got. You got to make the most of it, make speed. Taylor Gray's doing a nice job of that right now, though. Really tight on Rajah's door, trying to get any traction he can down near that grip strip.
Really good battle here for third as Rajah Caruth gets sideways, loses the spot, and he loses another one to Jesse Love goes by.
You wonder how close you can get to somebody's door? That was the limit right there. That's as close as you can get.
I was just about to say what a great clean battle side by side, but somebody had to give in the 6th, gave up and lost another position now. So Rajah gone back. He's gone from 3rd to 6th just like that.
Look how good a bite he got through the center and off the corner. That car is way better than the position he's running in right now as we watch Daniel Dye try to get by the 2 of Sanchez again.
This is the battle in the points for the ARCA Menards Series Championship. You've got the 43, Daniel Dye, holding off the point leader coming into this race, Nick Sanchez. See a new face in the 51, Andres Perez de la Ra. From Mexico City, he actually graduated from the NASCAR Drive for Diversity program. He's won some championships down there in the NASCAR Truck Series. So he's going to make a few starts here for David Gilliland Racing. Yeah, more, Kate?
Yeah, he's one of those drivers that knows that patience is going to pay off for him. He said this entire thing is a learning curve. Having won the championship for the challenge class in Mexico, he feels he's ready to race here and wants to race here. But man, he said earlier today, this is a whole different learning curve than anything else that he's ever been in.
I can only imagine. Well, he's going to get 2 more shots at it too. The Bull Ring at Vegas, and then he'll be at the championship race for the West in Phoenix.
I don't know if I'm more impressed by his performance or your pronunciation there. That was really clean, Jamie. That was a good job. But we're watching this battle here again, and now we've got 4 cars in this battle. Rajah Caruth had just said, I don't like blockers. Well, guess what? I've seen him get blocked about 3 laps in a row by this 15 car, Parker Chase in front of him. So I'm going to be watching the front bumper of that number 6 as we watch Daniel Dye battle right here with Jesse Love.
I like Parker Chase, though. He's like take no prisoners kind of guy. You guys remember at Mid-Ohio, I think he had 2 or 3 drivers pretty upset with him, and he doesn't care. He's here to win races. So
I'm not here to make friends.
That's right.
He's not making one right now.
No.
Rajah Caruth is not liking the blocks on corner entry, but you know, if you stay disciplined, you mentioned earlier his bite on exit. He's got a really good car. He's able to stay lower than Parker Chase on exit for most of these corners. If he can keep his cool, eventually he's going to get by that 15.
Daniel Dye now tries to get underneath the 20 of Jesse Love. He's going to grab that spot and move Daniel Dye now up to 6th.
Nick Sanchez was hoping to stay close to that 43's bumper and pick off the 20 as well. Every car that goes between these two drivers matters for this championship right now.
Getting close to that break again. We've completed 120 laps. The break will be on or around lap 125. Caution is out now. I think it's a little early for the break. Obviously, trouble right there.
Ooh, Taylor Gray involved in that accident.
Taylor Gray, you see Christian Rose has more damage, so something else happened to him, and I believe that was the 01 of Stephanie Moyer that was stopped in the middle of the racetrack.
Let's see if Taylor can just let off the brake and push the clutch in, drive down that corner. Make sure that car will refire. He's still on the lead lap right now, as you see all the damage to Christian Rose's car.
And he's going to give up a lot of track position there. Was running 3rd. I didn't see a ton of damage on the right side, but we haven't had a clean view of the left side yet. Curious to see how bad it is.
Certainly a lot of damage there to Stephanie Moyer's car.
With the damage to the 2 cars that we've just looked at, the 42 and 01, I've got to think that Taylor Gray was maybe trying to get by this as they collided.
See
Look
what
at the very top
here.
of your screen.
It's kind of odd. Taylor Gray spun out separately from the 2 cars behind him.
He really did, yeah.
Well, Josh had reported the 17's handling had gone away, and we saw him getting loose.
Is there something on that windshield, Trevor?
You know, I thought that earlier when we saw the power steering go out on the 48 car earlier, and now we've got fluid for sure down, but I think that's from the crash.
Yeah.
Well, we're under caution for the 5th time this evening. We have 78 laps to go. And welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway. Pit stops underway, and it is official. Sioux Chief Showdown champion and the 2022 ARCA Menards Series East champion is that man, Sammy Smith. What an amazing season it has been for this young man. He's won 4 times in the East, and there are his stats. What do you think of this kid, Trevor?
Well, he's been really impressive. I mean, in the ARCA Series, having 4 wins out of 6 races, all of them in the top 5. But then also, you throw him into the Xfinity field, and he's been fast there. So I think he's got a really bright future. You know, has pilot Flying J on the car. He's got some good stuff on his side. Had a great organization, obviously. I like that one pretty good. But Phil, what do you think about this kid?
I think he's done an amazing job. And you talk about domination, the ARCA Menards East Series, he's led over 60% of the laps in the 6 races that they've run this year. As you mentioned, 4 wins already.
That's 2 East Series championships in a row. All right, let's check in on pit stops happening. Josh?
Yeah, guys, and things going well for Sammy Smith. His only issue, just a little too tight. They made a track bar and air pressure adjustment, also working to cool him down with the fan as well. Brandon Jones in the 81. He's a little more tight than Sammy Smith, so they're working to free him up as well, as he needs just a little bit more on entry to be able to catch up to the 18, Kate.
Parker Chase, who said that he absolutely hated this place last year, is probably a little bit more happy. He said the team is giving him compliments regarding he's good on exit, but remember, do not overdrive the entries. Also, it was said that Parker Chase is fiddling with the beads in the rear, and the team was like, we don't know what you have found, but keep doing that. They're doing the same adjustments as they did before, a little track bar, a little wedge, fuel, and tires. Moving on to the number 6, the team says he's very happy. It's a very neutral place right now, 4 tires and air pressure, but Rajah Caruth may be happy with the car, but he is not happy with those out on track. He came back on the radio and says, I feel like I'm being disrespected out here. I feel like I race people clean, and they are not giving that to me in return. Jamie?
Focus, Rajah. It's all good. It's all good. I know he's getting frustrated out there because his car is so good, but Parker Chase found a little magic button, perhaps, there.
Fiddling with the beads, Kate said. It's got to be the bead blowers. If he's saying the beads, you know, you have fans in the front and rear, and sometimes you can really affect the balance by which fans you have on in the car. It affects downforce, but also which tires are you cooling, and that can really change the way it builds over a run.
Well, as if we haven't talked about him enough, and very deservedly so, Sammy Smith is our official Sprecher lap leader of the race. 118 laps led for the 18-year-old in the 18 car.
Yeah, that works out well. But I'm going back to Rajah Caruth, as we take a look at Mark McFarland, who's done such a great job calling the shots for Sammy Smith, as well as Ty Gibbs last year. Get used to the blocking thing. That's just the way of racing right now. Whether you're in the Cup Series, Xfinity Series, Truck Series, here in the ARCA Series, there's more blocking now than I think we've ever seen.
There's been a change of the guard, and I actually had this conversation with someone yesterday, with a Cup driver right now, of why is it changing so quick? And we've seen more youth come into the sport at a rapid rate than ever before. And, you know, we're in the age of iRacing now. We're in the age of truck racing and moving through the series a lot faster. And now you don't have those enforcer personalities. You don't have Tony Stewart. You don't have Jimmy Johnson. Those guys out there at the Cup level that are saying, hey, you don't do that to me, you know, and they'll pay you back. Now you've got the Ross Chastains and the Kyle Larsons, Tyler Reddick, these aggressive type drivers.
Joey Logano.
Yeah, and so the Kevin Harvicks of the world are having to adapt to that at the same rate, and they're really being more aggressive. Over a 500 lap race, you're seeing more aggression in the Cup Series. It's not as much give and take, and that just trickles down, right? And it actually stems from these lower series where you learn to race. If you learn to race aggressive, you're going to carry that all the way through your career as you go up, and that's what we've seen transcend all the way to the Cup Series right now.
It's a really good point. I mean, these guys all grow up on iRacing now, and things are just different than reality,
and legend
right?
legend cars, you run on the quarter mile at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's hard to pass. You're taught to knock people out of the way, and you talk to block people to keep them from getting by you.
Speaking of aggressive, Truck Series race is always good for a lot of action, a lot of aggressive racing. That's coming up. Race day is next, and the Bristol 200 at 9 p.m. Actually, 4 of our drivers in this race will be competing tonight. Caruth is one of them, Connor Mosack, Honeyman, and we have Taylor Gray.
Grant Enfinger wins our first race in the round of 10, right? So he makes it to the next round, and how are we going to reward him? You're last, by the way. You're slotted last in this round.
Hey, you did good, but do it again starting here at Bristol.
He's got the momentum, and I think he's going to be just fine here in these playoffs. But I'll tell you what, this is one of the toughest top 8s in the Truck Series I've seen in years. You look at what Christian Eckes did last week, making up points on Carson Hocevar-Thavarian. Ty Majeski, I mean, he's a contender to win this championship this year. He sits in 6th all the way up through. Zane Smith, John Hunter Nemechek. They're all really strong right now.
How about 2 of those guys that are in the top 4 will be starting at the back tonight because of issues? That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun to watch for us, though.
Yeah, John Hunter Nemechek with a big hit in the wall during qualifying, so he's in a backup truck. Go to the back.
It's just like that things change, right, Jamie? You go from winning to crashing in qualifying. That's a hard thing of life of racing.
Let's see what happened on pit road.
Oh, no.
I'm glad it fell forward.
He said, what's going on?
Yeah. Why on earth did you let the jack down?
And where's the jack stand? He's mad. He's not happy about the jack falling.
Kate, what happened there?
Apparently, with Nick Sanchez, they were trying to get that shock put back on. As you could see, the crew was under the hood, or was under the car, and the team had said something that gave Nick the indication that they said go, which obviously wasn't the case. Of course, the crewman just came out. He said he was okay, and he did get a chance to remove his arm. But imagine that in that driver's seat right now with Nick Sanchez.
Yeah, a little miscommunication there. That could have been really bad. So that is our championship leader, Nick Sanchez, just a 3-point advantage as it runs right now. And the 43, you see him back there in 5th, is the one trying to change things tonight.
He is trying to change things, and this is the point for a driver where you have what you have. There are going to be no more adjustments, no more pit stops for the guys that are going to be up front and contingent for this race. So now's the time to be quiet, hunker down, and go get this thing.
Remember, all the way to back, because he was laid off of pit road is what we're hearing.
And we're green once again. Sammy Smith leads the way, but Rajah Caruth once again has learned from multiple restarts tonight. Something is wrong, though, with the 43 drops to the inside. And you see Nick Sanchez, who had to start in the back because he was late leaving pit road. They had only 5 minutes to work on those cars. He works his way now through the lap traffic.
A lot of stuff happening all of a sudden here. We had 3 things at one time going on. Nick Sanchez, but then you got Rajah Caruth making his way to second. He was able to hold off Brandon Jones on the top, and now he's putting Sammy Smith under attack.
And I think Daniel Dye now is back up to speed, but he lost several positions in the meantime.
You've got to wonder if there was an accordion effect at the restart or if the engine stumbled, but good to see him back up and running. Here we go. Let's take a look and see what happens here.
They're in line on the inside.
Accordion effect, checks up, and then the engine looks like it stumbles with.
He either stumbled or missed a gear. Maybe he missed high gear going from the 3-4 shift. That's what
it's Parker Chase in front of him.
Ooh, that's not what the Ilmore guys want to hear right now.
That was going from 3rd to 2nd instead of 3rd to 4th.
And the timing of that was just, he got right to the 15's bumper, right at that shift, had to hit the brakes, and guess what? Wrong gear. Easy to do, though. I'll tell you, it's easier than you would think. I always flip my hand over to the other side of the shifter to make sure I push it backwards. Yeah. That's right. You grab it on the outside, and it's easy to pull it towards yourself. So that's one of those things you learn with experience.
And because of that incident, Daniel Dye goes from 4th back to 10th.
He'll be lucky if this thing stays together for the whole race.
You could hear the valves just jingling there.
Valve springs are not as springy.
No, they're stretched.
Points as they run. Nick Sanchez with a 7-point advantage over Daniel Dye. Rajah Caruth has closed the gap a little bit, but he still has a ways to go. Remember, 2 races left in the ARCA Menards series before this championship is decided.
We haven't talked a lot about Ashton Higgins in the 49 car. Really doing a nice job racing and passing Daniel Dye. Move him up to the 9th spot. His first ever ARCA Menards start.
Taylor Gray's trying to make his way back up. We saw him spin before that caution there, go to the rear. He's back up to 8th place and putting some pressure in front of him, while Daniel Dye is saying, man, I got to take advantage of this. Nick Sanchez, he's in 14th. I got to go pass some more guys, get some more points here, and see if I can't be leading this thing when we leave Bristol.
Daniel Dye right now thinking, all right, 58 laps to go. Please hold it together. Please don't let this engine go right now. Up front, Sammy Smith made an adjustment. Brandon Jones, we heard they made an adjustment as well, and it sounded like Rajah was pretty happy with the car.
I'd say so. He's keeping a really tight gap there, less than a second to your leader with Sammy Smith. As Higgins goes by Connor Mozak, Connor seems to be dropping pretty quick here. I don't think he's liking the adjustments that they made right now, Phil.
No, and that's what he's got too. He can come in on the subsequent pit stop if the caution were to come out, but he can't change tires. They can adjust on the car if they need to, or get the opportunity.
That is not where Sammy Smith thought the 60 was going, and he ended up on the apron. That's made me get my heart rate up a little bit there.
Yeah, he was almost a full second ahead of Rajah. We'll see now 0.3 of a second ahead of him. He lost over half a second.
Close that gap to 20 there. Jesse Love in the 5th spot.
51 car really doing a nice job. Andres.
I was just going to say that. Andres Perez de la Ra making his debut in the series, just working his way up there.
You just like saying
right
that,
now.
Jamie. Let's be honest.
I've been practicing in the bathroom in the mirror.
And do a great job.
With
do
my
a great job with it.
I'm not going to attempt that for you. It's great. I've taken some Spanish courses, but I'm not that confident yet.
I'm going with Andres. I can go with it. Ooh, caution's out.
Caution out for the 6th time. The 11, Zachary Tinkle, with an issue. You see the leader go by right there. Don't see any damage. Roof flaps or the hood flaps are up. He was multiple laps down, 8 laps down to be exact, when that incident happened.
Zachary's best finish of the year came the first Kansas race, matched his car number, finished 11th. Just going to avoid the inside pit wall.
That could have been a very long caution cleaning up a beach had he hit those barriers there.
Yeah, or if he would have slid up any more up the racetrack. He didn't really hold the brake, it didn't seem like. He left one lane up there for the cars to get by.
So Zachary Tinkle gets it going straight again. Sammy Smith, though, it's been all about him. Led 139 laps. Can he hang on to the finish? Welcome back to the Sioux Chief Showdown Championship. Beautiful evening here in Bristol. We're under caution for the 6th time this evening. One driver we've talked quite a bit about is the 43 of Daniel Dye, running 9th right now. He is our Bounty Rookie Spotlight this evening.
Yeah, what a great job he's done this year. The last 11 races, his worst finish is 8th. He's led 224 laps this year. Now, as opposed to Nick Sanchez and Taylor Gray, who each have 3 wins apiece, combined they've led 225 laps. So just one more lap than Daniel Dye, but he knocked on the door. Berlin, he was dominating, had trouble in the last 10 laps. Sammy Smith was able to get by him to get the win, but great year for him, and still certainly has a shot at this championship.
Certainly does. Daniel Dye doesn't have that win, but certainly been quiet, been methodical. 18-year-old from DeLand, Florida.
Is this a gamble right here, Trevor?
It is. Sammy Smith taking the top. He doesn't have the teammate on the bottom lane now, so now he's choosing that lane out of choice, right? He thinks it's the better lane.
See if it works out. Sammy Smith, Raja Caruth on the inside.
He's vulnerable if Raja gets loose underneath him.
Well, he's vulnerable anyways. He let the 6 get the jump there in that corner. He's going to have to stay tight on his door, not wreck himself.
Ooh, a nice exit there.
That was risky. I don't know if he'll take the top again if that happens. That was close to losing the lead.
Trevor Bayne over here just wiggling in his chair. He couldn't believe that call. But it worked out.
It did work out.
He
Brandon
squeaked
Jones
by.
is about to put some pressure on the 6 car here. That air, you know, when you pack air like that on the left rear, it's so hard to hang on to it. Raja Caruth did a great job there. That's going to be how Brandon Jones gets by him if he's able to. He's got to drive in, get to the left rear, move him up the track, and get that pass complete. But it looks like Raja's a little better right now.
Yeah, Brandon knows there's only 40 laps, a little over 40 laps left in this race, and they go by so fast when you're lapping at 15.5 seconds. So Brandon Jones is not riding right here at all.
Sammy Smith up front there in the 18 has dominated tonight. 3-time winner in the ARCA Menards series this season. The 81 is teammate Brandon Jones. He's won 3 times. Raja Caruth right in the middle of the 2, trying to get his first win of the year.
I see a lot of discipline out of Raja right now, just holding the bottom. As we look back here at Parker Chase and Taylor Gray, Taylor's been moving up the racetrack some. You know, he talked about battle and handling, and he's just trying to search and find any kind of grip he can. And here comes Daniel Dye looking inside of Jesse Love, trying to get those points we've been talking about.
We mentioned Taylor Gray. We just saw him around sideways about 10 minutes ago, and now he's still running up there in the top 5. Nice recovery for that 17.
Meanwhile, Nick Sanchez has really not made up any ground at all. He's still in the 14th spot, last car on the lead lap.
You know, sometimes when you go to the back like Taylor Gray did, you learn more about your car. You learn where to challenge it at, where you've got speed at compared to the competition, and it lights a fire. It lights some, you know, drive to try to be aggressive, and I'm curious to see how he's going to get by Parker Chase, but I think he's going to do it. He looks a lot better right now as he closes the gap on him.
We mentioned Nick Sanchez right there in the 2, came in as the point leader. He's our last driver on the lead lap. Points as they run right now. Look at that. Only 5 separating the top 2.
Looked really loose too, didn't he, Trevor?
It did, and on that pit stop, they added about 3 to 4 rounds of wedge to the left rear. So you and I looked at each other and said, man, he must be pretty loose to put 4 rounds in it. You also see sparks flying, so they're trying to figure out the travel there, not to hit the chassis. He might be hitting the track bar mount or the rear end. So he's definitely trying to figure this thing out right now.
Yeah, he has not advanced at all. He restarted in 14th, and he's still there. As we take a look back at Parker Chase right now, running in the 4th spot with Taylor Gray in 5th, right behind him. Brandon Jones was the fastest car on the racetrack that last lap. Still 3 or 4 car lengths behind Raja Caruth, though.
Sammy Smith has just been unbelievable. Just like his buddy, Ty Gibbs was 1 year ago. Same team, same car, same crew chief, everything. But that is one talented driver in the future of Joe Gibbs Racing if I was a betting woman.
A lot of common denominators there, right?
Yes.
When you have the opportunity to get in a fast car, I've been fortunate to do that this year with the 18. I actually share the car with Sammy Smith some races, and your job is just to do everything that you're paid to do. You got to not make mistakes. As we watch a side-by-side here, these drivers, I love to see a driver at work and kind of where they're at on the racetrack. You watch Brandon Jones' eyes, he kind of looks through the top of the windshield, and again, it's about that rhythm, the hand motion, the lifting and getting to it, but Brandon Jones knows how to be in a rhythm here at Bristol. He's run 250-lap Xfinity races multiple times, and so he's going to try to just take advantage of Rajah Caruth, watch for those mistakes. You can see how he's kind of moving up in the center, diamonding the corner. That's an experienced move right here, and he'll try to turn down underneath on exit.
And meanwhile, we're less than 30 laps to go now. These laps are running out. Brandon Jones needs to make something happen if he can. And I wonder, maybe did Sammy Smith pick the outside in order to let Rajah on the inside? Maybe didn't feel like Rajah was as much of a threat as maybe Brandon Jones was. That way he ensured Brandon Jones not getting the second spot on that restart. I doubt that, but that's a possibility.
I never want to leave the door open, Phil, that's for sure.
Let's get an update on our second place driver. Here's Kate.
The team is reminding Rajah that Brandon Jones is right there, and the lap traffic as Rajah is making a move. The lap traffic is extremely difficult. He said, but a good lap, keep it low and tight when you're outside of that lap traffic. But remember, guys, Rajah is a full-time student right now. He's also racing. He's trying to do his sim with Chevy, and he's been doing these trucks and Xfinity races. That is a lot to hold on to for a young driver like this, all while trying to, as he said earlier, sweep tonight, guys.
Such a great young man with his head on his shoulders. You see him walking around the Cup garage. You see him talking to drivers. He makes the calls. He asks the right questions. And like Kate said, he has a lot on his plate, a lot going on with schoolwork and also running. He's running in the Truck Series race coming up here. Qualified 14th for that race. So really nice job once again in the truck, but right now running second with a good car.
Yeah, doing a great job. If he can keep Brandon Jones, who's a seasoned veteran, multi-time winner in the Xfinity Series, not to mention the ARCA Menards Series, then he's done a day's work.
He's doing a nice job right now holding off Brandon Jones, but we've seen this story before with Brandon. He is the most patient driver. He watches, he lurks, and when it's time to strike, he goes. And that's why he has 3 wins out of 4 races, and he hasn't led a whole lot of laps for 3 wins.
Well, for sure, and if you were able to watch the race last time on Fox with us, you would have seen Watkins Glen where he lurked, as you talked about, in 3rd place with Taylor Gray and Sammy Smith. They got together and he wins the race, and I could see him doing that tonight. But right now, he's going to be on charge.
21 to go, and the 81, Brandon Jones says, excuse me, coming through, my car's better.
If he was saving anything, he's not anymore, and already pulls a big gap to Rajah Caruth. It's go time, Phil.
And I love the fact that he didn't rough up Rajah. I mean, he could have bumped him out of the way very easily, but he knows that Rajah is racing for a championship, and he didn't do that. He waited for his opportunity, got a great run, got underneath him, and now he's driving away. But in the meantime, Sammy's pulled out to almost a 3-second lead over Brandon.
Yeah, 3-second lead. If he's going to catch him here, the crew chief's doing math, saying, hey, man, you got to be 2/10 a lap faster than him if you're going to go get him. And I don't know if that's the right math. I got to do it real quick. I'm not that fast. But he's looking to see what that gap is.
And you see it here, Nick Sanchez, the next one out the front windshield of the 18 for Sammy Smith. Guys, he could put Nick Sanchez a lap down here. That was a costly mistake. They had him on pit road too long, had to restart in the back, and he just hasn't been the same.
I don't think that's the issue. Something's wrong with that car, Jamie. That car does not have near the pace that it had early. His car wasn't great all night, but it wasn't near as slow as it is now. Obviously, he had to start in the back because of that issue, but I think he's got bigger problems.
He's got a lot of issues going on right now as he goes a lap down to our leader.
The thing's bottoming out really bad. It almost makes me wonder if it's lost rounds in the right rear. You see how low the side skirt is. And
yeah, jack screw backed off or something.
Yeah, sometimes you have that happen where the spring just loses load. And when it does, you're hitting the racetrack, thing gets upset. And if they put rounds in the left rear to try to get the rear of the car up, it's just going to make that worse on the right rear sometimes. So Sammy Smith, though, 2-second lead now, Phil. Brandon Jones is going to work putting that down, and he's timing these lap cars right. So As a driver right now, you do not want to catch cars in the corner. You want to catch them on the straightaway, keep your momentum up, and get by them. As we see the aerial there, Brandon Jones trying to get around the 11 car.
Sammy Smith is about to lap the 12th place driver right now. He is setting a blistering pace. Josh?
Yeah, for the 81 of Brandon Jones, remember before that last stop, he was saying he was just a little too tight, but those last adjustments have him happy. He said the car is really coming to me right now. He was able to get around Rajah Caruth, and his crew chief said, go get the 18. As far as the 18 of Sammy Smith, he's cruising right now, but he is aware that Brandon Jones is bearing down on him, so he's got to be smart and calculated the rest of this race.
Here's the thing. Here's the advantage Brandon Jones has over Sammy Smith. If you're Connor Mozak, you're Jesse Love, Andy Jankowiak, you're about to go a lap down, you're racing that leader hard. You want to stay on the lead lap. Once the leader gets by you, no big deal. Second place, let him through. So Sammy Smith is going to have to make these holes, and Brandon Jones is down to 1 second already, under a second on that lead. You got two crew chiefs sitting beside each other, trying to smile and play nice here.
That's a great shot side by side of our first and second place drivers. That's Sammy Smith's crew chief, Mark McFarland there.
Sammy really had a...
Caution's out.
Ashton Higgins around after having a great run.
Had a top 10 run going there.
Running
First
8.
career start in the ARCA Menards series.
Well, there goes that second lead that Sammy Smith had.
And that brings out the caution for the 7th time this evening with just 8 laps to go.
Here's that lane choice. He's chosen the top and been able to get Brandon Jones every time, but Brandon was playing nice. Now what do you do?
I don't think you played near as nice.
Not a chance.
Yeah, tell Sammy, you take whatever you think's best. I'm going to take the other one, and it's going to be a race.
See what happened here.
Just got a little bit loose. Ran up some lap cars. Was up the racetrack just a little bit. Maybe got the right side tires up in the loose stuff you were talking about, the marbles. It's kind of what it looked like there. Tough break though.
The 19-year-old from Weaverville, North Carolina. Great effort tonight. Unfortunately, the night is over for the 49. Well, we will re-rack them and we will try it once again. Stay with us here from Bristol. Welcome back to the Sioux Chief Showdown Championship. Speaking of championship, the 18 right there on the outside. He is the Sioux Chief Showdown champ and he is the ARCA East champion. It's been all about Sammy Smith tonight.
Big decision on lane choice there. Trevor and I were talking about it during the commercial break. We both were in agreement. We would have taken the inside, and Sammy took the outside.
Maybe he can make either one work. One thing about Sammy Smith, he was in this position last year, but he was in that 81 car. Ty Gibbs was in the 18. He came home second, so he's hoping to do what the 18 did last year. He wants to get that win.
You said Brandon Jones is taking it easy on him. Does he take it as easy here?
No way.
No.
He needs that good restart, though.
Door to door, green flag is in the air. Sammy Smith, Brandon Jones.
Clear enough. Get down. No, it wasn't clear enough.
No,
Brandon's
he's
gonna
not
run him
cleared.
up. This is that bottom. It
That
seems
looked
like
very similar to the opening
Brandon
start.
Jones sideways.
Slides up into him. He saves it. 18 to the point. 81 settles into second. Taylor Gray in third.
My heart rate's up, Phil. Too invested already here.
Yeah.
Final lap.
I mean, Brandon Jones pushed him to it. Sammy Smith wins it at Bristol.
Wow, what a finish.
He chose the outside. He made it work. Brandon Jones got loose. I thought Brandon Jones was in the right spot, then he got loose.
That was a shootout moment for them. Brandon gave it to him. I mean, he pushed him for it.
I was going to say, I don't know about gave it to him. Gave him some donuts on the door.
He gave him the bumper, but Sammy Smith, it has been his night, led 189 laps. Wrapped up those championships.
Hey, he gets to do burnouts by himself this time around.
Yes, he does.
No
he doesn't have to share it.
Said, I'll take the championship and the checker flag. Hey, this is also the best case for us. We've got a lot of common denominators in this 18 car with 2 championships and a win, so a little bit easier on our end to navigate, right?
One big interview. What a season he has had. Obviously, he couldn't go for the ARCA Menards Series National Championship because he just turned 18 in the middle of the season. You have to be 18 to run all of the races. So he has made the most out of his opportunities.
4 wins already this year for Sammy in a limited run.
And he's going to have an opportunity to do this again tomorrow night in the Xfinity Series with Jason Ratcliffe in the other 18 car, which he's been really strong in all season long.
Nothing like bringing home the checkered flag right before you jump in a car for the next race, right?
And that's right. These laps will do nothing but help him for tomorrow night.
He's already ahead of the game. He knows what the balance is, knows what the track's doing. I'd expect him to unload super fast in practice and be on his way.
By the way, he'll be going up against his teammate there, Brandon Jones, again tomorrow night as well. I like the smoke show. Nice burnout.
Good job. He's got a lot of practice this year.
Yes, he does. It's been impressive. There goes the water bottles.
Where is Sammy Smith?
Somewhere in the smoke. It's so dramatic.
There he is.
TMC on the hood of that car. His dad, Kurt, was able to help when Michael Annette was in the series and became good friends with the family. So TMC, Pilot Flying J on the car supporting this guy as he celebrates a win.
Sammy Smith. He'll go up and get that checkered flag. To win at Bristol, though, at 18 years old. What a moment. Oh, gives a fist pump and hands the flag back to some fans.
That's when you know you have a lot of checker flags, is when you start handing them back to the fans.
All right, final restart of the race, guys. Take us through it.
See, Brandon Jones almost gets cleared by Sammy Smith, but not quite. Brandon drives it in there. Sammy leaves just enough room. Maybe a little bit of a bump there, Trevor.
Definitely a little bump there. And right here, this is where Brandon Jones' eyes get big, overdrives the entry, gets loose. Sammy Smith left him plenty of room there, but he just got in a little deep. He knew that was his shot, and there's the white flag out. Sammy Smith has got one clean lap to get it done.
Yeah, if Sammy doesn't give him even extra room, then Brandon Jones probably makes contact with Sammy when he gets sideways, and they may have both gone spinning.
2-lap shootout.
Brandon Jones just allowed Sammy Smith to get a little bit too big of a jump there. Tries to get it back. He knew that. You hear him gas it up and try to roll the center, get back to his bumper. Here's where he overdrives it. We'll listen. Tires squealing, sliding up the racetrack. Hangs on to it, though.
Did a great job to hang on to second. Taylor Gray was right there.
I've always wanted to go to this victory lane, Phil. Going up the ramp there to the top. What an incredible place to be.
Makes his way to victory lane. We'll hear from our winner coming up shortly. Here's our Sioux Chiefs Showdown Championship results. Sammy Smith, Brandon Jones, no surprise there. Taylor Gray did a heck of a job hanging on to it sideways at one point and brings it home third.
Some great stories, though, as Daniel Dye fights being under the weather, as well as missing a gear to finish 5th. But some great stories in the top 10. Andy J gets a top 10 finish.
And you see Nick Sanchez was able to come back to 12th, but certainly not the night they were hoping for. They thought they brought something new and great would be all they needed to extend that point lead, and that was not the case. All right, let's go to victory lane. Here's Josh with our winner.
Yeah, guys, and a dominant victory for Sammy Smith in this one here at Bristol. Got a little pressure from his teammate towards the end as you see the celebration go. And Sammy, you get the victory, but Brandon Jones did put some pressure on you on that final restart. Can you break that down for me and what it took to hold on for the win?
Yeah, it was tough. Yeah, just thanks to all these guys. They brought a really fast car, and I wouldn't be able to do it without them. That was a tough restart there, and I'm glad we were pulled off.
Sioux Chief Showdown champion, ARCA East champion for the second year in a row. What does that mean to you on top of this race win?
Yeah, it means a lot. And I was telling these guys the 2 championships mean a lot, but it wouldn't be the same if we didn't win the race. So just thanks to them, TMC, Pilot Flying J, All-State Peterbilt, KBM, Toyota, all these guys that work all hard all season, and glad we were able to pull it off.
Congratulations, Sammy.
All business.
Standing by with Brandon Jones. Yeah, standing by with Brandon Jones, Jamie. A lot of business for a lot of these guys, right? But this is one of those cases where Brandon, he had a little something on you, but it was a race through and through.
Yeah, for sure. First off, I want to say thanks to Homeworks. They were a new sponsor that came on board, brought a lot of people out to the racetrack. So hopefully I gave them a show there at the very end. I thought our Camry really came to life. Those last 30 laps or so really started to catch Sammy, and I think he got trapped in some traffic as well. But I kind of had flashbacks again. We had a late race restart, so I knew Sammy's position. I didn't want to roughen him up too much, and obviously with the Toyota Alliance there, you don't want to do anything to jeopardize his race. So I gave it all I had, and I think I just got in too deep down in turns 3 and 4, and kicking myself a little bit for that. That was kind of a dumb move on my behalf, but trying to go for it. Gosh, we only had the 1 lap left, so it would have been tough to beat him. I think maybe if I could have stayed side by side for another lap, it would have been a different story. But no, this is a big help for tomorrow's race. I mean, this is the main reason that we came over here to do these races, is to get a sense for what lines work. And I know they sprayed the traction compound down this weekend, so that's always a question if that stuff is how long it's going to take to come in. Certain things there, restarts, lanes, and a few things. So this was definitely a game for myself, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow's race.
You're talking about a lot of things that you learned. In fact, one of those things was that lap traffic and navigating it. A few laps back, you kind of got squished by one. What can you take from that?
Yeah, I knew this race was going to be about who could manage the lap traffic the best, and who could make those passes the fastest and not get trapped. And ultimately, just kind of picked the wrong lane, and I think that allowed Sammy to get around me there kind of early on. And then it was kind of back and forth between who had the better car. Between the two of us, I think we were just so close together that once one of us got out front, it was really hard for the other to get back by and pass, and even hard for me to pass the 6 at the end there too. That was a heck of a battle to try to get back by him. Yeah, I mean, this was good. All that stuff, great to see for tomorrow.
Absolutely. Good to see. Good learning lessons. Jamie?
I love that Brandon Jones, he's always looking to learn. I mean, he's a veteran. You talked about it, 25 years old, if you can call him a veteran, but I mean, he knows his way around, but he still likes to come back to the ARCA series just to learn, to help him on Saturdays.
Yeah, and that'll help him tomorrow night for sure.
The points leaderboard, we talked about it all season long. The battle has been so tight, and look at this. Nick Sanchez still the point leader after tonight's performance, but Daniel Dye just 5 points back. Raja gained a few, but he's still 30 points out with 2 races to go in the ARCA Menards series.
Yeah, I think it's probably a little bit too far back for Raja, but what a great battle up front with Nick and Daniel. With 2 short track races left, it's going to be something.
Well, Daniel Dye is in second right now. He fought through it. Kate, what does he have to say?
Jamie, in fact, he's looking at the board right now saying that's going to make it real interesting seeing those points standing. What's your take on it all?
Yeah, I mean, that puts a smile on my face. It's, we didn't have the day that we wanted to, but at the end of the day, we came here to race it too. That's what we're doing. It sounds like they've been having issues all day, which is, it sucks for them. You never really wish bad on anybody in racing, but good to capitalize on it. We gained 7 points. It puts us 5 away going into 2 short tracks. So need to beat them by 2 and basically 3 positions both times to have the lead. So that's what we're going to try and do.
Yeah, you capitalized on some of their mistakes, but there was also some recovery that you had to take care of as well, missing that shift. How did you overcome?
Yeah, we had some weird transmission issues, but overall we had a pretty good number 43 champion container for Chevrolet. Sorry, I'm worn out. But it was just, Bristol's one of those awesome places you come to. It's great to be here, running in front of a good crowd. I love this area. Just really proud to be a part of this organization and go into the next 2 weeks fighting for a championship.
Congratulations. He said that race car is medicine. Josh?
Well, thanks, Kate, and standing by with Taylor Gray, comes home third. And I heard you on the radio at one point tell your team, I don't know what I need. At points, I'm too tight, I'm too free. What were you battling tonight?
Yeah, it's just, I guess, to put on add on to that more, like I would be too tight and need to free up, and then we'd free up, and then I'd be too free. So I think we were just, I think I could have done a better job of, kind of tracking where the racetrack was going to trend to, and maybe make our Ford Mustang a little better. I thought we were pretty decent there at the end. I wish we'd have had something a little bit more for the 18. I thought we were pretty comparable to the 81 there at the end. Got to keep working hard and try to catch that 18. But I can't thank everyone at Dead On Tools enough for coming on board this weekend with us. It's awesome having them on the race car, and just going to move on and go run a truck race here in a few minutes.
Yeah, and that's what I was just about to ask you about, doing the double duty. How does that help you as you get set to hop back behind the driver's seat?
Yeah, I mean, more seat time is better. So anything I can get in before or after a truck race or even on an off weekend, it's going to help. So I'm all about racing as much as I can. So anything helps. So we'll go out in this truck race and got some work to do. We were really good in practice, struggled a little bit in qualifying. So got some work to do in the race.
Thanks and good luck, Taylor. Jamie?
And another great performance by that young man, Taylor Gray. Well, the celebration continues here in Bristol. We'll wrap things up from Bristol Motor Speedway after this. Welcome back to the ARCA Menards series here on FS1. Just wrapped up race number 18 on the season, and what a night it was. Some surprises, some hard racing, some crashing, a little bit of everything, what you come to expect for Bristol Motor Speedway. Well, the Reese's Sweet Move of the race, we've got 3 nominees. What do you guys think?
Pretty good one right here when Sammy Smith takes the lead from Brandon Jones, a lead he will never get back up to Brandon Jones.
This move right here was almost the sour move of the race, but it turned out sweet. He did avoid him. Both of these drivers missed the big one. Brandon Jones, man, that was about as close as you ever want to get right there.
And how about this restart for Sammy Smith? Brandon Jones drove it in there a little bit too hard. Sammy Smith gave him plenty of room. When he turned sideways, they didn't make contact. Sammy Smith goes on to win.
Yeah, when you make the move to get the win, it gets my vote every time.
So you're saying the 18 and the 81 are going to be the sweet move of the race?
Yes, one way or another.
Involved.
Well,
yes.
You at home can vote tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Head over to the ARCA Menards Series Twitter page at ARCA_racing to vote on which one of those 3 moments you think was the Reese's Sweet Move of the race. Let's check in again with Kate.
Standing by with Andre Perez de Lara, and this is a driver that patience played out for you. Moving up from 16th all the way to 7th. How much would you say patience was behind the wheel of that car?
Yeah, it was a tough race. Definitely my first time in this car, and my first ever race in ARCA. So it was just a tough track to come to my first race here. But I think overall it was a very good race. We finished 7th. We had a clean car, no crashes, and I think it was just getting as much experience in the car. So every lap I was getting better. So last part of the race I was just way better than the first part. So I was just getting comfortable, and I think from now we are able to fight up front, yeah.
With sometimes the fastest laps out there as well. On a scale of 1 to 10, how fun was the experience here in the States?
Yeah, it was definitely 10. It was so fun. Like this type of racing, this track is amazing. Normally I race on Mexico, but this coming here for the first time, I was amazed of the track, and then just getting lap per lap, I felt more like I knew how to do this for a long time, So at the end, it was just a very cool experience. I want to thank my team, my sponsors, and I'm really happy with my first race.
Congratulations, good work out there. Jamie?
Andres brings it home 7th, the 17-year-old from Mexico City. You'll see him at Vegas and at Phoenix as well. Well done. First time seeing this place, and he said, I felt like I've been doing it forever.
Yeah, I think we'll be seeing a lot more of him after those races you mentioned. He did a great job tonight, and what an experience that he just got to go through. Coming to Bristol for your first ARCA race, I mean, this is like the coolest racetrack you could possibly go race at, and I'm sure he was taking that in, and just an awesome job all night long.
He didn't race like a 17-year-old with no experience, for sure.
The 2022 Sioux Chief Showdown, we talked about that, the championship within a championship, and you see the different winners here. The future looks bright.
It does. 4 wins, though, for Sammy Smith. What a great job he did. 2 wins for Taylor Gray as well.
We look at this list here, it's kind of the who's who of trucks and Xfinity as well. You look at Chandler Smith, Brandon Jones, and then Sammy Smith's getting his starts. Taylor Gray's battled for wins already in the truck series, so a lot of crossover to the ARCA series here from our other NASCAR series.
And we had a dirt ringer thrown in there as well at the coin, and Ryan Unzicker.
Yes, and Sammy Smith, he is the 2022 Sioux Chief Showdown champion. Let's check in again with Kate, who's with Nick Sanchez.
And I think the only word that could be used at this point in time is a bummer. Nick Sanchez, how would you describe the rest of the evening?
Yeah, I mean, it was a struggle from lap 1. I don't know why we struggled, but, you know, we came to pit that one time, I think stage 2 or whatever, and I guess we had a bent shock. We tried to take it off to fix it. We couldn't get it back on. Just some miscommunication in the pits, and finished the race without a left rear shock, so I don't know what to say.
When you think ahead now, how's your mentality? How do you kind of come back from this one?
Just try to go do my best at Salem and Toledo and finish out the year strong. Hopefully we'll bring good cars there, and you know, hopefully my Max Eagle Gainbridge Chevrolet will be good.
We're hoping so for you too, Nick. Guys.
A broken shock, so we wondered what the issue was.
It does. That's why they put rounds in the left rear trying to hold it up. If you lose a shock, Bristol is not the place you want to lose a shock at. I'll tell you that right now. It's a rough ride.
Well, Nick Sanchez, a 3-time winner this season, but after all that tonight, to come back 12th, he's still the points leader by just 5 with 2 races to go.
And essentially what that means is 5 finishing positions over 2 races.
All right. We may be wrapping things up here from the ARCA Menards series, but a lot more racing action still to come. Next up, it's race day, and right after that, at 9 Eastern, is the Bristol 200. Phil, you're working double duty. Give us a little insight what to expect tonight from the truckers.
Oh, I can't wait. This is the first race in the round of 8. Obviously, 3 races. Talladega and Homestead will make up the other 2, but this is a wild card. Anything can happen in this race. Right now, Grant Enfinger is one of the hottest guys. He had top 5 finishes in all 3 of the first round, and he comes there 10 points below the cut line.
Yeah, not only that, but you throw in Derek Kraus starting on the pole, who's not even in the playoffs, and it really mixes it all up. Chandler Smith's going to be tough. He won here last year. I think it's going to be a great race.
Well, you guys, it's hard to believe this is the end of the road for us here with the ARCA Menards series on FS1. It's been great working with you guys. Phil Parsons, all you do, Trevor Bain, Kate Osborne, Josh Sims, our entire FS1 crew. I'm Jamie Little. Thank you so much for giving us your time. We hope that you were entertained, but there's still more action still to come. We've got the truck series for the rest of the season. Next up, though, it's race day with Caitlin Vincie. So long from Bristol.